What is up, everybody? My name is Bobby. I do music, and today I feel like I'm hunching over like Uncle Larry, like Tom Book. I'm not nearly as cool as him, and I can't talk that low. But my name is, in fact, Bobby, and I do music. I play some guitar. And today we're checking out the Wampler Mofetta, one of the more recent additions to their lineup, and kind of a fun pedal for me. I am always kind of chasing those Nashville sounds just to have in the studio for some of the songwriters I work with. Just to get a little bit of that sort of thing. So I've got a bunch of pedals that do a bunch of different things, lots of overdrive, lots of boosts, and that sort of thing. And I'd been looking for an MT10, an Ibanez Mostortion MT10 style thing. And I'd looked at a couple other options, and I actually have back there somewhere a clone, a DIY clone from Aeon Effects that I'd like. But then Wampler comes out, and honestly, Wampler is one of my favorite companies for overdrive and gain and saturation and all that. And so I jumped on this. Excuse me. And yeah, so we're going to check it out. I don't have any experience with the original Mostortion. Those things are insanely expensive now. But we're going to check this out and just kind of go off of its own merits, not so much whether it sounds just like an MT10 or not. And just kind of decide, is it a good sounding pedal? And is it a pedal for you? So, really quick on the signal chain, this is my Ibanez S320 with the Marzio deactivator humbuckers in there. Very high output pickups, and I do have coil splitting on there, so I can do some single coil stuff too. I'm going through the Mofetta into my Synergy system. Right now I've got the BBBE Friedman module in there, which has a very nice clean with the neck pickup. Super clean. The second channel, we've got crunch, high gain, I guess. And then on the other side, I do have the Friedman DS Dirty Shirley. And it's higher gain channel too. So we'll probably check out at least the lower gain side of the DS. And yeah, I'm always curious how overdrive pedals like this sound going into clean channels and into kind of edge of breakup pedal platform channels. So we'll mess with that. But we're going to start on the BB side of the BEBB. And we'll kick in the pedal. And we're going to start with the texture switch down because that is the stock Mostortion style circuit. Texture up brings... well, okay, so the original Mostortion used MOSFETs, MOSFETs for the gain staging for the amplification, but it used diodes for clipping like a lot of other pedals. And Brian decided to see what would happen if you made the MOSFETs themselves clip. So there's a separate gain stage circuit that pushes it through a bunch of MOSFETs with the texture switch up. But we're going to start with it down. Level, bass, middle, treble, and gain. You know what all that stuff does. And yeah, so here's the clean tone. Here's no tone. And here's the Mofetta as you see it. Gain all the way down, it does still add some coloration. Bring the gain back up. Let's go about yay. And let's go some neck single coil. Before. To my ear, this pedal has a very sort of, I mean, it's got a unique characteristic to the gain, to the saturation. It's very not fuzzy and a fuzz like Big Muff style thing, but it's got a lot of texture with the texture switch down even. It's got a lot of that going on. It's got just, I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just thick, but not exactly smooth. It's got some hair to it, but it's not like fizzy either. It's words are failing me, and this is an awful video, but we're going to keep going anyway. Bring the gain up a little. You know what it reminds me of, actually? Before I bring the gain up, it reminds me, the characteristic of the distortion, not necessarily the overall tonal quality, the EQ quality, or the gain amount, but the character of the distortion reminds me a little bit of a rat. Just kind of that bordering on unruly sound. And when you get the gain up higher, it definitely gets a little bit more unruly. So let's bring the gain back down, and we'll talk about the texture switch, and then we'll go into the EQ section as well, because it's a passive EQ section, but I'm going to call it active in the sense that it does a lot. It's very powerful. But let's talk about texture. So texture is going to switch over from our diode clipping over into the MOSFET gain stages, which is going to be a little bit more tube-like in some ways, and it's also going to introduce some more gain. That was awful. Yeah, it's very full-bodied in the distortion, very just thick. It holds on to everything. It doesn't have like a mid-hum, like a tube screamer, but it's not nearly as transparent as something like a Blues Breaker or a Nobles kind of style thing. It's definitely got a bunch of character all its own, and it's really fun to mess around with. Bring the gain up. So yeah, very thick and characterful. That's the best way I can think to describe it. Let's mess with the EQ. Bass all the way down. Bass back up at noon. And bass full whack. So I tend to like the bass roughly around noon. If I'm boosting it or running it higher gain, I might roll the bass back a little bit. And again, we're coming from this. Let's mess with the mids. I'm going to take our bass back up to noon. Very warm mids when they're pushed. And then very drastically scooped. Anytime I hear a really scooped sound like that, it makes me think of that tone. Let's mess with the treble. It gets downright brittle. I'm not going to subject you to much more of that. Let's roll it back. I like the texture switch in both positions for different reasons. I feel like it's a little bit more tamed and refined in the down position. It feels more like it's almost kind of like the Pantheon I've got, which is a bluesbreaker style thing, but with more gain. It's obviously not tonally the same, but like feel-wise. I can absolutely see that being an always-on sort of thing if you're going into a clean amp or if you're going into a dirty amp. Let's grab the dirty channel of the Dirty Shirley. We'll zero this back out so you can hear what it sounds like going into something like this. That's the teal channel of the DS, the Dirty Shirley Freeman Synergy module. I've got videos for both of these modules. I will have linked them earlier. But yeah, the lower channel gains at just past 9 o'clock. The EQ's fairly straight up and down, a little bit of mids and treble added, but... And we'll add the Mofetta. And we can boost into it too, drive the level up. Yeah, easily like an always on or even just a lead boost sort of thing, and we barely have the gain up. You know, we're at 9 o'clock. Kind of EQ based on what the amp is telling me. Bring the texture back in. Let's just go full whack, see what she does. That's always fun. Woo! No. Treble down. Gets kind of fuzzy up there. Let's see how little we can get away with. I'm kind of curious if I just want to go from this to something a little more, but still an always on, like bass tone, bass, B-A-S-E. I can spell. Yeah, that's the Mofetta, man. Thanks for checking this out with me. I hope this helped you get a better idea of what this pedal sounds like, what it's capable of, and whether or not it fits into your rig. That's kind of my goal with all these videos, is just help inform you of the things I like and the things I think you might like. So whoever you are, thank you for watching. I will see you guys and gals in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. You've been wonderful. My name is Bobby, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.